All right, let's talk some men's hoops with USC starting forward Ezra Ausar. He and his teammates call himself Ezzy. I like to call him Hammer Time because you can't stop him. We're going to talk about Ezra Ausar. We're going to talk about USC men's basketball. That's coming up on this episode of Locked On USC.
You are Locked On USC, your daily podcast on the USC Trojans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Fight on, everyone, and welcome to Locked On USC, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, which is also the #1 sports podcast network. So whether you're watching the show on YouTube, wherever you want to download this podcast, you get to pick the platform. This show is going to be free. This show is always going to appreciate your support. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season with FanDuel, jump on in, get your live NFL bet started. All right, so last week, Ezra, Casey Jacobson, he was calling the game on TV, and he referred to USC's starting power forward, you, as a human jackhammer. I was like, all right. First thing that popped into my head when he said that was MC Hammer, can't stop this. Time. I love the way you play the game. Look, we're going to find out together what Ezra prefers as far as when it comes to nicknames. I saw you call yourself Ezzy. All I know is it's really fun to watch you play the game. You're a pain in the butt for opposing teams. So Ezra, Mr. Ausar, Mr. Second Half, welcome to the show. Thank you for doing this.
I appreciate you having me for sure. It's
Absolutely.
4:44, so let's make a wish.
Let's do this. Do me a favor. How was practice? I know you just got out of practice. Tell me about it.
Great today. We focus on, getting our chemistry and connection back tight again and, finishing the season strong like we're supposed to.
Here's a curious question I have, and I understand you only have like a 1-game sample size to work from. Is there a difference with Coach Musselman after a win versus after a loss when you guys are practicing? In other words, did you notice a difference last week?
Nah, it's still being coach hard. It's just still about, practicing to the expectations that we're supposed to. So when the game comes, it's easier for us.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I know that was a tough game against Washington, but you guys bounced back this past week against San Diego. And again, you showed what you do, especially in the second half. You are that spark plug. So you've had kind of an interesting journey on your way to USC. You were a 2021-2022 McDonald's All-American nominee. You were the Phenom Hoop State Championship all tournament first team.
For sure.
And you ended your career at IMG Academy, and then you started at East Carolina. Right. I know you've been recruited by some other schools, Wichita State, Texas A&M. Why East Carolina? Why did you decide to start there?
So I think Coach Swartz was at Tennessee at the time being. I ended up getting the head coaching job at East Carolina. And I just had my baby boy. So I think being close to home was a decision maker for me going into that first year. And that opportunity presented itself. And so I ended up committing there.
The first 2 years there, you were like really good. I mean, first team all conference as a freshman. You're Mr. Double every game, it seemed like.
Almost.
Well, let me ask you this. After 2 years at East Carolina, how did Utah show up on your radar?
And so at that point, I think it became like getting away from, complacent environments. And that was just like a big emphasis for me as far as like finding a new environment to be around. And so ended up matching like my energy. Like it was somewhere I wanted to be as far as like, peace and quiet, beautiful scenery, beautiful environment, great people, trying something different and willing to learn something different. And I feel like, even though we didn't have the best season, I still gained from that season rather than lost. So I was glad with that decision.
And obviously you have a step up in conference type of competition playing in the Big 12 against teams like Kansas and Baylor and all that. Can you compare that so far to what you've seen with USC playing in the big conference, in the Big Ten?
I think it's just always about like playing with toughness.
Okay.
That's just a big emphasis for me because at the end of the day, like I'm going to stick with, my strength, which is, being tough and driving the ball and dunking the ball. So obviously the toughness is still here. Obviously, I think there's probably more better players in this conference than the Big 12?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot of good players. So I'm just looking forward to a winning season, a beautiful season, and that's it.
So now you're at USC. You guys are 9-1. How did that all come about? I mean, you went in the transfer portal at the end of last season. I don't know what kind of details you want to go into, but who contacted who? Was it you contacting USC? Was it one of the coaches saying, "Hey, Ezra, we want you now"?
No, it was the coaches was contacting me. It started with Coach. It was either between Coach Conroy or Coach Must that reached out first, but we came on a visit as soon as possible, and I was speaking to Coach Must, pretty much on a daily basis. Just as as you're going through the recruitment process, you're pretty much talking to all the coaches that's recruiting, and for me, it was just about like my teammates and going into my senior year, like winning was the only thing that mattered to me. And statistically, that wasn't really my focus. I was just so worried about being around a whole bunch of other players that was hungry as much as I wanted it. And so that was, pretty much the decision factor for me.
You bring up a really interesting point there, and I want to talk about that in the next segment. Now that you're playing with USC, pretty much a brand new roster, and you just mentioned something about wanting to play with guys who are just as hungry. Yeah. And I think there's an angle there when you bring in all these different new guys. Everyone's hungry, got a bunch of dogs. Who's the big dog during practice? We'll talk about that in the next segment. That's coming up next.
I'm the big dog. I'm just playing.
Well, you heard it. We'll get into that. We'll dive into. Hold up, Ezra. Hold on. I want to dive into that. Let me do a little business here real quick. So let's talk about something most men don't bring up, but absolutely should. Stress from work, money, life. It doesn't just switch off at night. And when it shows at the worst time possible, Rugiet Ready is designed to help you take back control. Rugiet Ready is a next-generation prescription treatment created to support both the brain and the body so you can feel present, competent, and ready when the moment actually matters. Rugiet Ready combines 3 clinically proven ingredients in 1 mint that dissolves under your tongue so it absorbs fast. You connect with a board-certified doctor online, and everything ships discreetly right to your front door. And most men, in about 15 minutes, on average, it takes effect, so you can stay present, you can be competent, you'll be ready to go when the time is right. If you've been thinking about taking the next step, now's the time. Head to rugiet.com/lockedoncollege. That's rugiet.com/lockedoncollege to get 15% off your order for a limited time. Rugiet Ready. Feel present, feel confident, feel ready. All right, NFL Sundays, they move really fast around here. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're actually reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you place safe bets, and the action upholds every drive, every moment, every highlight. All of that shows up when you're doing that live betting. When that happens, FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. And if you like to play it big with player prop bets, those update as the guys heat up. You can bet the next touchdown scores, the drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com. Place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, so can you. All right, let's get back to the real business here with Ezra. All right, I apologize about that. Got to sneak that stuff in.
That's what comes with the program.
There you go. Absolutely. All right. So you were at East Carolina for a couple of years. You dominated the AAC. Then you went, you played at Utah for a year. You were their second leading scorer. And you were playing in the Big 12, which is a really good basketball conference. we kind of touched on it a little bit in that previous segment. Why USC? I mean, I'm sure you had a choice of other schools as well, but you brought up wanting to play with guys who were just as hungry. What was it about USC? Was it the Coach Musselman, Coach Conroy? Were you starting to get in touch with other players who wanted to come? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously the coaches definitely, drew my attention as far as, comfortability and making sure that we was accomplishing the goals that was set before the season started. And so, they met the standards and what was offered on the table as far as standards when it came to specifications of what was needed for the team. I just met the criteria. So that was, a big key. And then, having other players that won in the past, like Chad come in, Amarion came in, Rodney came in. All those were just winners right there. I think Rodney made it to the March. Rodney did go into March Madness. All three of them went to March Madness, and I ain't never been. So I knew that playing with, when you put those pieces together and bring them together, the sky's the limit when it comes to goals.
Look, I know how much energy you play with, and there was one play this past week against San Diego. Ryan Cornish was also in the game at the time, and it looked like there was about to be a backdoor pass cut, and he literally dove like a shortstop playing baseball to prevent the ball from getting in.
Exactly.
The outlet. That is the way the game is supposed to be played.
1,000%.
Like I said, I saw that play and was like, that's it. That's what it's all about. I mean, again, as a former high school basketball coach, I can only imagine what Coach Muss was thinking, but you got to finish on the end of that. Talk about that in practice. Who else has that type of dog mentality besides yourself, Ryan? Who are some of the guys that
everybody on the team got it in them? We just got to keep bringing it out of them and keep motivating them to get it out of them. Once they see one person do it, it triggers everybody to want to do it. So again, it's a team effort, and there's no I in team. It takes everybody to win. And so when everybody's on the same page, the chemistry doesn't do nothing but go higher and higher and higher. And the adrenaline gets better and it gets higher, and we become unstoppable as a unit.
When Pete Carroll was USC's football coach back in the day, the players used to talk about all the time, say, practice is it's harder than the games.
Exactly.
Is that the same way with Coach Muss?
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. Over the summer, it was probably more harder because
really
we was running so much. We was in the heat, and it took me to switch 2 to 3 jerseys every practice.
Wow.
And so I knew, like, it kind of just set the tone. Like, when you practice hard, the game become easier. And I learned that from just, watching the greats as well, like watching their work ethic. And I think that's the biggest goal for me is to be consistent with my work ethic. And I think that's what helped me become a long way as far as my career, because I never knew basketball would be my trajectory. But I'm overly blessed to be in the position that I'm in today, because ain't no telling where I'll be at.
I'll tell you what, right now, your trajectory is like going straight up. So just keep doing what you're doing. Now, as a team, USC is number 1 in the country. You guys are averaging 31 free throws per game. That is an insane number. And you are a major contributor to that. You've got 95 free throw attempts through 10 games. I mean, that's 9.5 per game. You don't take a lot of shots from beyond 15 feet, but you love the free throw line. Talk about your mindset.
Man, I'm so hard on myself when it comes to free throws, because my percentage has to get better first and foremost. And that just comes with focus and consistency and rhythm. Rhythm is super key when it comes to shooting free throws. And I be putting too much pressure on myself. So now I'm just stacking days and consistently stacking days. And I'll go watch old videos of me in old basketball. I mean, my old games of how I was making free throws. It was just all about rhythm. And so just continue to build my confidence. And I'm going to only do nothing but get better at it. But I'm just thinking about driving the ball. Like, I'm strong, so I got to use my body. And I don't fall for the bait when it comes to players wanting me to take shots. The Washington game, I was, very disappointed in myself and my team for how we came out the second half, and honestly, the results of the game. And at the end of the day, I think, God always tells a story, and some things are meant to be the humble people. And so, unfortunately, that was the result. But I think we learned a ton from it after watching what we watched, because that was just unacceptable.
Well, I'll tell you, I've watched how you shoot, and you've got good form. The ball rotates great. It comes off your hand right. Again, like you said, how do you practice free throws? Is there a certain way? Because, when you're running up and down the court during a game, you're breathing hard, your eyes are going up and down. How do you practice free throws for the folks who are watching this? Explain how that goes down.
I'm just getting a ton of free throw reps in, and sometimes I get to the point where now I'm trying to tire myself and then go to the free throw line and practice with, probably do like 5 up and downs.
Okay.
Or I might do some burpees. My uncle used to tell me to do burpees. So crank about 10 burpees and then get to the free throw line. But it's obviously, I think I'm get to the point where like I'm always trying to go 10 out of 10 at the free throw line, but the standard is to go 9 out of 10.
Tell you what, just keep getting there as many times as you do. You're going to get plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, I'm leading the country at the free throw line, so that's
it's crazy.
That's the standard, and we're gonna try to keep it there.
Let me ask you this, because I know you had a brother who played football.
Did you ever play football?
I'm sorry?
All my brothers played football.
Did you ever consider? Do you know who Tony Gonzalez was?
My first love.
Okay.
I love football.
Well, maybe Coach Ryan will ask
you USC to come. You know what I'm saying? Throw me a scholarship. I've been trying to get on the
team. I'll make sure Coach Ryan knows you can play tight end.
My first love. I can't. If the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to play football 1,000%.
Okay.
And be the two-way.
We got one more segment to go. That gives me a little bit of insight to who you are, and I loved hearing that. We got one more order of business to go, and I'm going to ask you 10 quick rapid-fire questions, kind of see who you are off the court.
All right, say less.
That's coming up next. The holidays are officially here, which means gift hunting season is on. And if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, then Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every single time. It's not just something you wrap. It's a way to share memories. Listen up. Aura isn't just your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before you get it set up. That way, when they plug it in, the memories are already there. There's no apps to figure out. There's no setup headaches, just instant smiles. Memories are what life is all about, and a picture is what memories are made of. This is an actual gift that will be used over and over. It's going to be cherished. It's not going to be regifted. So for a limited time, you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter. All you got to do is use promo code COLLEGE at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code COLLEGE. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours today to get in time for the holidays. And don't forget to support the show by mentioning Locked On USC at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. All right, Ezra, here we go. Before we do some rapid fire questions, do me a favor. Tell everybody, I know you and your family, you have a nonprofit organization, First Dynasty Youth Association.
Correct.
What's that all about?
So my parents started the foundation in '99. So we're going to 27 years in 2026.
Wow.
But it started with a candle and a skincare line business my family been running for a long time, which is It's Appropriate. And my mom makes the best candles and skincare in the world.
Is there a website that people can go to?
It's itsappropriate.com, but it's itzappropriate.com.
itzappropriate.com.
It's about a B+ right now, but it's normally an A+. So I just get back on my routine. But if you want to glow like me, that's the show.
I think that's great that you're into giving back to the community, and that's what it's really about. 1,000%. Absolutely. All right, here we go. I guess people should also know this about you and your family. You got a brother who's like really big in the music industry.
Yeah, all my brothers big time. Yeah, so my
oldest brother. Does this mean when you guys win the big conference championship, you and your brother are going to set up a party with Usher and Travis Scott?
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Okay, you heard it here.
We gonna take the whole team to the studio and make a song.
Oh, even better. I want an invite for that. To that.
Say less.
All right, here we go, Ezra. First question. What's your go-to pregame meal? What's something you have to have if you get to choose?
Something with rice, so like a salmon and rice, veggies, something like some Mediterranean.
Okay. When you get your first NBA check, car, truck, or is it going to be a Harley Davidson or an Indian style motorcycle?
It's so crazy you say that because I forgot the dude just introduced me to it. It's the high rider with the high what's the name on the bike?
Oh, the choppers.
The choppers. But nah, I'm buying a house for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm building from the ground up.
When it comes to the seasons, are you a summer or are you a winter person?
I love the sun, but I love being cold. So I don't know. Probably summer. I love the sun. That's how you start your day with the sun.
California is a pretty cool place to live because
it's pretty consistent. I was very upset when it was raining for some few days.
All right, here's a little tougher question for you. Kobe or MJ?
MJ.
It's all right. You can't go. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, it ain't no wrong answer, but I'm going MJ. MJ was I was just watching. I've been watching the Last Dance documentary lately, and unstoppable.
I'll tell you, I was fortunate enough to be able to watch Kobe and MJ go against each other.
Oh, fire!
Oh, if everybody played the game with their mentality, it would
be way more funner.
Oh, don't bring me back to those days. All right. Here's one for you. Rim shaking dunk exclamation point for the win or a 3-pointer for the win?
Break the rim.
Okay. Who is your favorite dunker, by the way?
I never thought about that.
I'll come back to it.
Shaq when it comes to the power.
Okay.
But when it comes to like
creativity,
Zion was crazy in high school. LeBron was just crazy in his early years in the NBA. I don't know. That's a hard question.
There's a lot of good ones out there.
For sure, there's a lot of great dunkers out there.
Oh, it was crazy.
But I'm about to get to the chat in a little bit. I got to work on my dunk package.
If you get a chance, go look up Daryl Dawkins.
Daryl Dawkins. I'm going to look it up.
All right, trust me.
Daryl Dawkins.
Chocolate Thunder. That's all you need to know. Chocolate Thunder.
Okay, bet.
All right, on a hot dog, mustard or ketchup?
Ketchup and relish.
Okay. When they make a movie about your life, who plays Ezra?
Only I could be Ezra.
Okay. There you go. If you could pick a superpower, what would it be?
Probably being invisible.
I like that one. Okay, 2 more. What would you do when basketball isn't an option? So what's your next career?
I'll be playing football.
All right, there you go.
1,000.
I'm going to make sure Lincoln Riley gets this. So
yes, I might still go to the NFL. You didn't hear about it?
I like it. I like that. That's confidence. That's not arrogance. That's confidence.
Yeah. I might go to the NFL after this.
All right. Last question. Mama's boy or a dad's dude?
Man, mama's boy. But I love my dad.
There you go.
I love both of my parents. I love my whole family and friends, everybody. But I'm a mama's boy, yeah.
There you go. Everyone, Trojan fans.
I'm on my dad's side too, though. So, I play both sides.
I wanted to introduce everyone to Ezra Ausar. There you go. Member of the USC Trojans hoops team. 9-1. They're taking on Washington State this weekend.
Absolutely.
Get your Galen Center, fill it up, support this team. They play with energy. They're a fun group to watch.
Keep supporting us, Trojan Nation, for sure.
There you go. There you go. Ezra, thank you so much for doing
Marc. Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Trust me, you will. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
be back with another episode of Locked On USC. Until then, everyone.
Waiting on you.
You know what to do.